Hey, it's Yash. So I wanted to touch on, this is important. It's 4 ways how to balance, you can say mental disorders or imbalanced neurology, etc. Also chronic pain, But I wrote these down because I don't want to miss anything, because this is important. This is if you're something inside, like you want to go beyond the medical paradigm. Like you through your experience, you've realized something, like it just doesn't work for you. Pills make you worse, the side effects, surgeries, like that's just not an option. Like something in you believes, like nature must be able to help me. How do I access it though? How do I access this power? So this is more for you. But if you're doing pills and stuff, like it's cool, this still will help, Raise the frequency so the nervous system and emotions respond different to external stimuli. I made a couple videos already about diet and what I drink and eat and stuff. The easier to digest chemistry, it's like, look, we're eating frequency and magnetics and consciousness. This is what we're eating. Not eating calories and fat and proteins and amino acids. I mean, yeah, on superficial level we're eating that, but that's not relevant here. What's relevant here is electricity. When we eat high-level foods, we get electricity. This is what we want. When we get this higher electricity and consciousness, all of a sudden this chemistry in the nervous system, central nervous system, also autonomic nervous system, they're related. Those neurons in these chemicals that nobody knows about, that's imbalanced, that's causing these symptoms, that starts to come into some semblance of balance. I'm not professing any cure, because if you got this stuff really bad, you're just not going to cure it. That's another thing, is to surrender to the karmic situation you have in your human form and try to see the blessing in it. I've shared in another video in another channel that the real purpose for having these things that I see is to drive us to know who we are beyond this human form. That's incredible motivation, and when you leave this body at some point, you're going to see that. See, when we leave this body, when we die, so-called, we don't die, the consciousness don't die, but when this body dies, we're going to recognize immediately, do we use this life for its highest purpose? And we're going to realize that the highest purpose is to recognize that we're consciousness. It's like we put on this costume, and then the game is to know who we are beyond this costume. This is the whole point of life. Somebody asked me what the purpose of life is. So when we eat these high-level frequency foods, it brings the mind and emotional body and physical body back into a somewhat semblance of balance. And then it's easier to do our spiritual practice. This is the main goal. It's not to heal the body. It's just not. For some, maybe it is. That's cool. But what we're talking about here is to reduce the symptoms of these chronic health situations we have. And when we take in chemistry that's really easy to digest, but at the same time super powerful chemistry, like highly electrical, it's going to start to heal things. It's going to wash out inflammation. It's going to hydrate the cells. It's going to detox whatever crud is hiding in the body. It's going to mobilize that and get rid of it. And then we're going to feel more sense of balance in this body. You see, and these symptoms will go down, which is what we want. And there's no side effects. This is what we want. This is what I wanted. I didn't want the side effects of surgery and pills. It just they were too bad. This is like beyond duality. It's like you get the benefits but no side effects. Also, it purifies the mind. Like people that are in chronic pain and have there's mosquitoes out. Chronic nervous system disorders, it's easy to get into a negative way of thinking. I mean, because we're like, don't feel good. And we're so focused on the symptoms, that's all we can see is like just this darkness. And then our emotions get heavy, our mind starts getting negative. You can start getting into bad habits and stuff as a way to escape, and it's just a bad situation. So these higher frequency food's so intimate. It's more intimate than sex. Like we're eating it and it's becoming our body and mind. So what you take in is a big deal. And that starts to raise the consciousness that's in this body. And so then the mind, it's like it just elevates. You're in a different world, so to speak, a different reality. Yeah, do you believe me? Because I'm telling you the truth from experience. I'm not parroting something I read. This is coming from me. It relaxes the nervous system. You can, when I was fruitarian, I'm not suggesting that, I'm just saying, or even now when I'm drinking all these liquids, something's just super chill. At least you'll have moments of that or periods of that. You'll just be like, damn, this really works. Like, I'm chill. Like, how does that happen? These symptoms and this obsessive compulsive habits and neurology that's out of whack, that seems to have taken a back seat for now, because I'm more chill and healthy than people that don't even have these disorders and chronic pain. Whoa, that's what needs to happen, because then you got it. Then you have the actual experience. See, I already have the actual experience. I'm speaking from that. But you need to have the actual experience, and then you'll be sold. You don't need to listen to anybody like me tell you about it. But if you're not aware, if you've never had this idea, then somebody's got to tell you, and then it's up to you if you want to try or not. Most people won't try. I have 2 other channels, Spiritual Renaissance and Beyond the Alchemy. Those channels, I get a lot of traction. This channel, it's like, I almost don't even, I was going to let it go because it's too much work having 3 channels, but I had some people on my other channels asking about this kind of stuff. And so I'm kind of diverting them now to this channel, because this channel needs to be its own specific channel, because it's exclusive. We're talking about people specifically that struggle with mental dysfunction and nervous system problems and chronic pain. If I put that on my other channels, like the average person doesn't relate, they're not interested. Hence, I made this channel. Last thing, number 4, restores balance to an imbalanced brain chemistry. I've touched on that. Only nature can do that. Only nature can do that. Pills do not restore a balance. Surgery doesn't restore balance. When I'm saying balance, I'm talking about organic balance. See, pills and surgery usually stimulates or suppresses a function, an unnatural function the body's doing to produce a more pleasant result. That's what it does. If you have an overactive nervous system that's causing all these symptoms, then give a pill to calm it, and then maybe they won't have those symptoms. The problem is it shuts down a lot of other things in that process. Then the person maybe has depression or anxiety or a stomach problem they develop, or there's just a whole slew of things. And same with like surgeries, like let's say deep brain stimulation. They cut a hole in your head and put electrodes in there, and then open your chest up, put a battery pack that runs the electrodes. And then people with severe Parkinson's and Tourette's and such, their symptoms calm down. But then you got to get the dial just right. Otherwise you can get depressed or rageful, or there's no way around it. Like, there's always going to be some negative consequences. Now, I'm not against it. I'm not against surgery or pills. I'm not against anything. I'm not even pro what I'm doing. It's all about what fits. What fits at your particular space and moment of time in your consciousness right now. If this resonates, okay. If not, okay. Like, life's taking care of us, period. Either through more holistic suggestions or through pills and surgery. Like, everything's okay. God put everything here for all different levels of consciousness. If I could find a pill or surgery that would work, I would do it right now. It's just I have no inner sanction or feeling to do that. I have an inner feeling to do this. So this is the purpose of the videos, to find those who also have a similar inner feeling, and then we communicate and talk. You know, it's not about looking down on others who are doing other things and who are using medical, the allopathic care to help them. There's no judgment here. All right. Hope that helped you. Have a good day.